how can we find joy in the everyday, even when we're not like feeling up to it, like when we're feeling maybe a bit down or frustrated?
Yes. I think we have to find that joy in little tiny moments of mindfulness. And I know that can sound like it's easier said than done, but if you listen in, where explain to you some of what we do that does help us change our states of mind.
Yes, it changes our perspective on things, and it makes us feel a lot more joyful and a lot happier, even when we may not be feeling that great.
Yep.
So that's
Definitely.
what we'll be chatting about in this week's episode of
Get Real with the English Sisters.
Mind, health and anxiety relief, really.
Relief, definitely.
I know, I know especially when, it's beautiful sunny here today, but especially when the weather's miserable and we're coming out of winter now.
Yeah.
If you're in the cold, if you're in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere, obviously there's different weather zones, isn't there?
Yeah.
And the podcast is listened to all over the world in
Yippee!
So many countries, I think over 110 countries from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. So the weather does
change a lot.
Yeah, I always find that very hypnotic. If it's especially when it's like Christmas here and then it's summer, somewhere chilly.
Yeah. You find it difficult to sort of get around your head.
I just think, wow, it's just such a different perspective on life.
Just flipping the coin around, isn't it? You just change.
You're just going to a different
You get on
part
a plane
of the
and
world.
you're in a different part and you're in a completely different atmosphere. And what have you done to get there? You've travelled. So what can you do in your daily life?
Well, you can travel with your mind.
Yeah, you can travel with your mind. But you can literally...
You can take a trip.
Sometimes when you're feeling a bit down and a bit stuck, you can literally just change your environment by just simply stepping outside.
That's a very good point.
Well, that's what I mean by travelling. Oh, very clever. It's like you don't have to get on a plane, but if you can, it's lovely. But otherwise, it's just changing your location to change your state of mind is often an underrated but very, very simple thing that we can all do.
I know, it's very underrated. Not many people know about it.
Well,
no, they don't, because they're we've learned through our therapy that we have anchors to certain place, which anchors.
Yeah, explain that a bit.
Thoughts. An anchor is like a thought that comes to mind, or a feeling that attaches you to a certain thing. A bit like Pavlov's dogs when they have the anchor of having.
When the bell rings, they salivate. You were forgetting there, weren't you?
No, they salivate when the bell rings and they know it's dinner time.
Yes.
So that can happen to us as well. If we go into the kitchen, we can automatically open the fridge and get something.
Yeah, we can salivate.
Out that we may not be wanting. But if the fridge isn't there and there's no kitchen there, because instead of going into the kitchen, we've decided to go for a walk.
Exactly.
Or do something different.
Take a shower. Anything that's going to change your state of mind that's associated to a certain location. It's so weird, but you could be sitting on this particular chair or on your couch, and you'll find if you take notice of this, you'll probably because we all do it, you'll probably notice how, when you throw yourself on the couch, you might immediately begin to relax. And sort of everything that happened during the day might slowly melt away. And it's not just because you might have a warm drink or a glass of wine in your hand. It's also where you are that anchors you to a certain feeling. And it's like, I don't know, it's like when you grow up and then you go back to your home or your children's bedroom. You'll immediately be flooded back with these
anchors that tie you to that place at that time, and not only your whole state of mind will go back.
It will go back. I remember when I went years ago when we still had our family home in England, and I remember entering the bedroom, and it was like, whoa! I suddenly was like 10, 11 again. I saw my bed. I remember stuffing all the toys in there and all my little fears when I looked out the window sometime, because I used to be frightened of looking out the window at night because I would see trees moving and all of a sudden my little childish thoughts came back into my head. And I thought, that's weird. But then at the time, you don't really realise the importance.
You didn't know what it was. You didn't know they were called anchors.
No, you can't. Yeah, obviously, you're having childhood memories, but you don't realise how you can actually utilise this powerful anchor thing in everyday life to change your state on purpose. If you're not feeling so good, you can actually change it.
You actually change your state.
You can change it. If it's raining in your head, you can actually go to Ecuador or whatever and change it by simply changing rooms. I remember when you were writing our books, you would always tell me that whenever you entered the shower or the bathroom, you would suddenly be filled with ideas. So I remember when we were having do you remember when our editor said, look, you crunched down, you've got like 3 weeks to finish this. I remember I kept on saying, go to the bathroom, Violetta, I mean, it was a big joke, but every time she went to the bathroom, even just to the toilet. I would have an automatic
idea about something, it's true.
Isn't that funny?
It is. Because that's where it is. That's where your mind is allowed to, I suppose my mind was allowed to just wander there, and then it would wander creatively. Fortunately, it would wander creatively.
A lot of these times, these things happen when you're not aware of them. Like every time you go to bed, if you're somebody that suffers from not being able to sleep really well, sometimes just the act of actually entering the bed can make you feel anxious. So you've got to be a little bit aware of these things, and once you're aware of it, you can change it. You can make sure that every time you go to bed, you can associate to pleasant things.
Well, you can put a lovely hot water bottle. If it's hot, the opposite, a cold thing, put a nice pack in there. You can put some relaxing music on before you fall asleep.
Exactly. Or some pleasant bed linen. Meditation. Something kinesthetic that you can actually touch and makes you feel safe. Sometimes these small things.
Well, that's what mindfulness is about, isn't it? It's about being in the moment. So actually feeling the pillow against your skin, listening to feeling how you're breathing.
Noticing what's going on.
You can, relax your breathing.
You can relax your nervous system, which sometimes it's always high. You dreamt
about our Croydon house last night.
Really?
Instead of it having the tiny garden it had. Do you remember the tiny garden with the shed?
It had
it was a big house. It was like a 4-bedroom house. But nowadays it's like enormous for what people can afford now.
You're right, yeah.
Then it was like just a normal family home. What a nice one. But,
it was nice, but I mean, our parents were just, we were just lucky that they got that house.
Yeah, because it was a refugee house.
It was
to get.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was all like we inherited everything, didn't we? We inherited all the wallpaper, all the furniture.
Oh, absolutely.
So it had lots of
weird things on it. Yeah. The wallpaper was wild.
Weird
peacocks or something, didn't it?
Yeah, because it was like the lady that lived there before. She had a young daughter that was really trendy, really
she was
chic.
Eccentric, wasn't she?
And she had decorated it all like really like.
Do you remember the
60s, 70s
Do you remember the
style.
study room? It had all those wiggly red and yellow, like. It was all white, and then they had like an edging all around, like almost the top of...
Or like a line they painted across.
Or like a little snake like wiggly lines. And they were red and...
template, didn't they?
It was weird. That was a bit weird.
Anyway, I don't know why
our parents just left it.
The dream was that instead of just a little back garden, it had...
a massive garden.
It went onto a field, like with a massive, beautiful scenery, and then like you could see the horizon and mountains and things.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, I go, this is like, it's really changed. I mean, it was a lovely, pleasant dream, but I was just thinking, that's how I don't know why I dreamt that. I don't know.
It's probably because you've been back to England recently.
Oh, maybe.
And you were probably
anchoring
it that once again, when you enter even a different country, you often, like some people say, oh, I love Italy, I love it. Because why? Because when they came, they were on holiday, they had lovely food, they probably had great company. And so they've associated to something beautiful, beautiful experience. Often if you go to other countries, you suddenly think, oh no, it was cold or whatever, I don't know. So that also, it depends on the location once again. So you went back to England and you were thinking of your childhood, and then you had a whole dream about it, which was a very nice dream apparently. I can just imagine it now.
It was beautiful. But instead of having all the little back lanes and all the gardens, it was just beautiful open fields and
there was no ending.
And no ending.
Beautiful, like a wood, like the woods.
Like
open countryside, rolling hills kind of thing.
But with colours, lots of
flowers.
Lovely,
like the daffodils are coming out.
I don't know. It was all like I suppose it was a bit like a Monet painting or something.
Oh, how wonderful!
All really beautiful. Yeah, it was very nice. And I woke up.
That's quite unusual.
It was unusual. It was a weird dream.
I didn't have it. I woke up at 3 a.m. all of a sudden alert.
On
adrenaline, because I had these worrying thoughts that I was thinking about, and all of a sudden the thoughts that you might think at 3 p.m. that everything seems normal at 3 p.m. but at 3 a.m. when everything is quiet around you, that thought can become quite invasive. So I said no, because I've got this rule: never get up to go to the toilet in the night, because then once you start, your brain loves that routine.
Well, you set an anchor for it. Every night you're getting up, like
every
Pavlov's
night.
dogs.
Yeah, at a certain time, your brain will say, "Hey, get up, you need to urinate, or you need to go and get some food." Luckily, it's true.
No, it
will.
It is.
It's no laughing matter.
Agreeing.
This is totally
I do the same. I never get up unless they only get up if I'm having toilet dreams.
Oh my God.
If I'm dreaming of looking for a toilet and I can't find a toilet,
that's a nightmare.
When I wake up, I think I really need to go.
No, this wasn't a toilet dream. It was just me waking up, and then I thought, I'm going to actually break my rule of not getting up, because I didn't really consciously think about it, but I knew I had to change location in order to calm my mind. So I actually went downstairs, and then it was funny because I saw the cat on the sofa, and I thought, she's going to ask me for her first breakfast already, even though it's 3 a.m. But she just stared at me, and then she stared outside the window as if to say, what are you doing?
It's too early.
Pitch black out there. Yeah, she just completely ignored me. So I managed to enter the kitchen quietly and just close the door, and in the end I ended up making myself some warm milk, which was unusual, but that did help me because I changed state.
Yes.
And I got out of this,
which I recently... If you were in a frenzy, it's not good.
What's it? In a frenzy? I sound like I was...
But for you, I know what we're like, that we can manage our thoughts normally.
Yes, exactly.
And we know how to redirect them and how to be mindful.
But I kept on coming
obviously
back.
There you needed that extra step of actually changing
I had to actually get out, and I said, I'm going to physically remove myself from this area now.
You did the right thing.
In the end, and I even broke the screen rule, which is you're not really supposed to look at your phone, but I took my phone because I was using it as a torch, and then I turned it on, but I thought, oh, who cares? I just
went scrolling.
She didn't tell me this before. She edited this bit out and said she'd just gone to get the milk, and I said, the milk. No, because I just to be fully honest, I did go scrolling, but it was lovely things. So I saw.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, it's really not a good idea.
It wakes your brain up.
I know all about that because obviously we were actually asleep. What is it called? We've got lots of things on sleep hypnosis. Yeah, so I know all about that. But for me, it worked. In that particular time, I actually listened to this doctor, which I really like, and I found it very calming.
Okay.
And anyway, it worked. And it was like 10 minutes, and I thought, okay, now just turn everything off again, Wi-Fi off, and the moment I'll get back into bed, I'll find a comfortable position, and my cushion was particularly soft when I went back in.
So you went mindful on the way back?
I went mindful on the way back, yeah. Then I crept back in, and I felt that lovely, that the cushion. Then I stuffed another cushion down there and so inside the duvet. So it was all like really coochie. And my husband was snoring, but I managed to ignore that as well.
Sometimes
And
I like
thought
the snores.
that's a calming sound because
that's what I do.
Yeah, because
I tune into the snores.
I tuned into the snores. Yes. They weren't. Thank goodness they weren't that bad at that moment. But I thought, look how relaxed he is. And I took some of those deep breaths, and then I found myself asleep, thank goodness, and then the alarm went off, and I thought, oh, well, tonight I will be careful not to repeat that, though, because
you might get it.
No, I think I'm calm. I feel calmer today. Yesterday there was lots of new change coming along, and
that's what happens with the spring as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But there was lots of new challenging situations coming along, so I was feeling particularly anxious. But anyway, so you can. But this is just you have a moment of mindfulness, and then you can change mindfulness, and you can change your state.
Yeah,
and also change your room.
I do that because when I don't want to do my gym, and I know that my exercise makes me feel better, especially if I'm feeling a bit down. But if I'm like sitting on the settee and I'm like, or maybe working online or while I'm watching a bit of TV or something,
you've got to get out of there.
And I don't want to go down.
No, you don't want to.
I just say you go down and then you see what happens once you're down there.
Yes. So you go down because down there you've got the gym.
I've got the gym.
You've got the little gym, yeah.
So I go down and then I see what happens. And usually,
what always happens is that you work out.
Mostly, yes, I do. It's rare
because
it's because once you get up and you make the mental effort of getting up and changing, like what you say, you change, and then you go down. Because then you're already there.
Every room has its anchors, has its. It's like memories of what you've done in there before. So you're going to be predisposed. Your mind will automatically. It's like when you create this lovely space where you work and you've got your laptop and your computer and everything. And it's a calm space, so you can really think there. And then every time you enter that space, you'll be more inclined. It's what writers do a lot of the time. They say, once I enter the study or the room I've dedicated to writing, I will write in there.
They do.
And they just get cracking, and that's sort of part of what they consider discipline, but it's also part of the anchors that have been created on that chair and on that desk, which is it's odd, isn't it? Every room has its anchors. Every space has its anchors.
Yeah. But it's like if you want to have like a romantic evening with your partner and you don't set anything up,
it's not going to happen,
is it?
No.
So you have to start. You have to start sowing the seeds.
You do.
Don't you?
Yes.
You sow the seeds during the day, and then you may be prepared to make a nice meal or decide to go out. You get dressed up, you make the effort, you do the nice little chit chat, the romantic talk.
You change your location a lot of the time, don't you? You go out. And sometimes when you're finally out, you think, why do we get along when we're like sitting at a restaurant or something? And then when you go home, you all of a sudden you change.
Well, you've got all the home stuff going on, haven't you? All the stresses. If you're stressed at home, if you're not, you're fine.
But the ideal is to create that home space that is a space that does make you feel relaxed.
Well, that's the joyfulness and mindfulness and joy in every day.
So that you can create this kind of a nest.
Well, it has to be,
your
I think,
space.
More than the space. It is the space as well, but it has to be. It's a feeling, and you have to do it yourself.
Yes, you have to be consciously thinking,
you have to be saying,
as I enter the
doing?
doorstep, yes, I will leave behind any thoughts that are not going to be helpful for me as I enter into this you know, I was going to say sacred place, because
I knew you were
do you know
say
why?
that.
Because
I knew it.
Because it just started sounding like
just going to go to church.
it sounded like this kind of sermon as I enter, but it's true though, isn't it? Isn't it true?
I absolutely 100% knew that your girl was going to do that.
Yeah, because it just sounds like it, doesn't it? As I enter this sacred, because I said sacred.
Well, the bedroom should be sacred. No screens in there.
No, yeah, but I don't think anyone believes that. I mean, do you not have any screens in your bedroom? Okay, I have my laptop, I do confess. I watch a lot of Netflix in there. And other things. No, other things. I mean, no, that sounds... I just watch, you know, like all my little series and things that are really calming on there.
Oh, dear me.
But because that just is just my calm. Like,
well, okay.
Yeah,
okay, yes. I mean, if you're finding that helpful and calming,
that works for
you, that's perfect. Loads of people like, you know, reading in bed or, you know, whatever. But it's important to find, the thing is that if you're at peace within yourself, then you can take that peace everywhere you go, and you can transform the space as you go through it, and you can undo those maybe unhelpful anchors that were associated to it.
No, that's a
so
good
even
point.
Like if you've
got bad memories,
if you've got bad memories, say if you're working from home and your desk is in a certain place and you've got bad anchors attached to that because something went wrong or you didn't like your boss or whatever, just by changing where the desk is if you can, or changing the room, or just changing position, even just slightly changing your chair position or something can really help you, because you don't actually realize how much these tiny like micro changes, because obviously some of you will have, you know, very tiny spaces.
Yeah. I was thinking of like your daughter now that she's in London. She's got a tiny studio.
So she could still manage to change the position of her chair around or something, change the way or where she could work on the settee instead of at a desk, or vice versa. You can change things. You
can change some things, yes, or you can just
buy a little pot of flowers. She told me she put a little pot of flowers on her desk, and it made immense joy.
Yeah.
I have just bought some lovely little daffodils that were growing.
Oh, the bulbs.
Lovely. And I've just put them outside the kitchen window, and when I look at them, it makes me feel really happy every time.
There you go.
It's spring.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely. That's just a small thing that can sort of like change.
Well, it can take you out of yourself and into
the world,
into a world that is more mindful for you and more forgiving, like not so harsh.
Exactly, because just like the weather changes a lot, you know, our minds can also evolve and change, and we can think about that a lot, about all these spatial anchors and what they actually mean and how they can affect us without us realizing, and how we can change our state of mind, especially if we feel stuck. Move, get out of it. You say, I'm stuck. We have a lot of people coming to us, I'm stuck in here. You have to actually move physically to become unstuck.
Well, the first step they do is if they contacted us, they've moved.
They've
already done. That's what we tell our clients. You've already done the first move. You're very good, very brave of you.
Yes. But then a lot of the times you actually have to move and physically go for a walk. Right.
Yes.
Get out.
Or just listen to a nice song that you like as well. That can
jump
change
around.
your state. Jump around.
That's really good. And so on. There's a lot that can be done. I
wanted to say that we've had congratulations from our podcast host, Buzzsprout, because we've reached 10,000 downloads, which is only because of you listening every week. And we're so grateful to all of you. So thank you so much. And for watching the podcast on YouTube, where you can see the video too. But thank you, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Thank you to all the people listening to us all around the world, southern and northern hemispheres.
And all the different rooms. Hopefully we'll bring a positive anchor into that space where you listen to this podcast.
We do hope so. Lots of love and smiles from the
English Sisters.
Bye.
Bye.